duty calls. Speaking of which, we're going to spend a couple of minutes marinating in this.
Dennis Bannon's doing fine. Well, Dennis Bannon went to Michigan. Don't know what he was thinking.
What was he thinking?
Yeah, Dennis Bannon went to Michigan. Don't know what he was thinking. Came back home to Chicago, where the blues is always swinging. They taught him books up in Ann Arbor, but the streets taught him to play. Taught him how to play. Yeah, they taught him books up in Ann Arbor, but the streets taught him to play. Left that college town behind him for the shy, he couldn't stay away. Give it up for Dennis Bannon, he finally saw the light. Give it up for Dennis Bannon, he finally saw the light. Give it up for Dennis Bannon, he made his choice right. 29 reasons why Chicago's out of sight. 29 left Michigan behind. I love Chicago, that's no lie. Dennis Bannon, you're our guy.
I guess, how do we, good night, everybody.
Oh my goodness, that was worth the whole experience. Just that tune, love it.
So I was putting that together, and I'm like, some are going to be more like stings. Some of them are going to be, a little longer. Yours is the longest, by the way.
I was going to say maybe a little long.
You know what? Worth it though. I was looking at it, I'm like, is this too long? And then I looked at it and I was like, fuck it, it's fine.
It's the blues. Everybody loves the blues.
Everybody loves the blues. Chicago is one of my, I adore Chicago so much.
And a great advertising town. So many good people.
I know. Did you do a lap around Chicago? Because that's what everyone did, like a stint at Havas and Leo and all that.
Yeah, I did. Leo, Bayer Best Vanderwalker. I was kind of at places a longer amount of time. And then I did do a little stint client side at ConAgra and then agencies.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I started as in radio, I was a producer. And so when I saw that you made this list, I was like, yeah, it's my people. I want you to talk about and it's what I find really interesting is I produced a morning show for years, and I find it really interesting that I lean back on that time, which was 1999 to like 2003, 2004. I still lean on that probably more than anything. I'm curious to understand, do you lean on something as a producer earlier in your career that you learned? Maybe it was from a mentor, or maybe it was from experience. Is there anything that you lean into and lean on when you're working?
Yeah, I think it's always about the people you put together. It was always kind of really director focused, and it was always about what director can we get for this project? But then even as, things have kind of changed, and sometimes, you were even working with your own internal teams, or if you have maybe just a motion graphics project, it's really just about, you have to build the right teams and do the research and find the right people for it. Because, nowadays, a shoot or a production or asset production it's all very different. And, each crew looks different and each team looks different. So it's still like just all about the people and the talent that they have.
No, I completely get that. And so are you the only producer at the agency?
I am, yes.
How is that possible?
I'm telling you, I think, kudos to Craig, Kristen, Amy, Joe, and Jack, who kind of wrote up my submission, which is thank you for that. It's so nice to have a producer getting recognition, to your point. We're always behind the scenes, we're, making it happen. But I would say we've had like a super busy year this year. So it's, by all means, I could have had some help, but I loved the projects, right? So it's one of those things where, you're kind of putting it together, and then you're shooting one really cool thing with a good group of people, and then 2 weeks later there's something else, and you just kind of like, I kind of want to be there, so I kind of keep going.
So the thing about this too is, and I see this a lot with producers as well, and is temperament. You're so chill. You're not uptight like most University of Michigan alum. Like what's going on with that?
Yeah, I think, some Michigan people are cool, but
I know I'm just messing. I'm originally from Minnesota, so you got to give me something.
oh my, love it. No, you know what? I think that's part of it for me too. Like, don't be fooled. Like when things are getting really stressful, like my head's like spinning. But I've always found too that people, like producers, are like the flight attendant, right? When
Right.
when there's turbulence on the plane, I always look at the flight attendants. Like, is this normal, or are we going down? And I think like producers are the same way. Like when things start, we get behind schedule, or if the director's having a little fit, I think people are looking at me, and so I'm always like, okay, make it seem like this is normal.
Yeah. And so SCC, the agency, Schaefer, Condon, Carter,
Yep.
been around a minute, but also it's one of the. It's such a sneaky agency, and I mean that not in a pejorative sense at all. I mean that in like the work that y'all do is consistently high level, and I don't want to, because we'd put you in as a little bit as an underdog, but I could see that, but I also think that Chicago is such a unique market, but talk about just how you stay focused, and just like it's about the work, but the agency in general has this commitment to excellence across the board. How do you maintain that?
Well, I mean, it all comes down to the clients and the projects you get. We've had a lot of clients who worked at one place and we've done really good work for, and then they'll bounce around and they'll go somewhere else. And so we specialize we do a lot of food, and food. I was at ConAgra for years, and food's its own thing. So we really do that super well. But then sometimes those clients go somewhere, and like we've done some really like great work for Chamberlain, where it's like bigger budget, kind of big stuff, and But again, it's like, as I said before, we have all kinds of different projects, all kinds of different budget levels. And I think just, the creative department, everybody's kind of has a really great taste level. And we basically want to produce it well, execute it well, and just, make good work.
I love it. All right, man. Listen, appreciate all of your I just appreciate the membership. I appreciate the support, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person so we can swap a few stories, because I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, producer to producer, thank you, Indie Agency News, for this award.
All right.
I get a kick out of it.
Our pleasure, man. We'll see you in Chi-Town soon.
Okay. Bye.
All right, everybody.